It started with a city above and a city below. One bleached by the sun, weathered and decayed. The other held wonders and artifacts of life before the fractured void. Your adventure is called forward with a simple call for aid. What path you choose will shape how the story is told. Will your path lead you into the mist and forest? Or have you delved into the ruined city of Byway, searching for ancient artifacts and ciphers? Will you grow close to those who live in the city, or strive for power? It started with a city above and a city below. One bleached by the sun, weathered and decayed. The other held wonders and artifacts of life before the fractured void.
Hello, everybody. We ran through that intro video twice. Whoops. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? We are here tonight. We are going to be playing Numenera, The Stars in the Stone. This is a wonderful homebrew game by our wonderful Laughmaker D&D, aka our hostess with the mostest, our disaster tour guide, our friend. Tonight, we are heading into episode 4, and it's going to be a 3-man episode tonight because there's only 3 of us. So sit back, relax, hang out with us. If you have been here for a while, you know that you can use your channel points, your bits, your subs, to affect this game. You can read all about that down below on the About Me section on Twitch. If you are watching this on YouTube, either now or in the future, I am sorry, but I do not have any way to monetize or interact with you there. Just, you know, hang out, chat with us a bit. I hope your night's going well. Tell us what your favorite type of pie is. We'll comment on it and tell you ours later in the YouTube comment section. Someone remind me that I need to do that later now. I really shouldn't commit to things on the fly. Anyways, that is it for how you can affect the game. Reminder, this is a charity Twitch channel. Everything that I make on Twitch goes to the TrevorProject.org, which is a wonderful, wonderful group. They provide crisis counseling support to the LGBTQIA+ youth community, and we need it now more than ever in the US. If you would like to affect our game monetarily, you are more than welcome to do so. All of that money will be going to the Trevor Project. If you would like to support the game financially, you can hop on over to TheHypeGoblin.com and pick yourself up something nice. Get yourself a nice show poster. Get yourself some artwork of all of these beautiful characters that are on your screen right now. You could even get yourself a Hype Goblin coffee mug. Coffee tastes 10% better in a Hype Goblin coffee mug. It's true. If you would have already done that, if you already regularly change the way that our game is played with your bits and your subs, you can also support the game by going to therookandtheraven.com. They're a wonderful friend of our channel. They have sent me gifts. There is an unboxing video over on TikTok and Instagram of what they've recently sent me. But you can get 15% off your total order at rookandtheraven.com for a modular notebook. Just use code HypeGoblin. I'm a little tired. Words are hard. Also, there is another new group that we are currently working with on my social media, and it's Weird.Works. They have given me a $5 off code if you want to go pick up their Empress Deck. And we are going to start using this starting tonight in our game to predict the weather in our game with their weird weather system that they have for these cards. It is a beautiful card deck designed all around Dungeons and Dragons themed classes, monsters. There's fiends, there's fae. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. Go check them out. I posted about them on Instagram as well. And there's a giveaway going on over on TikTok. So if you're interested in entering that, that goes until the 15th of this month. And one winner will win these beautiful cards. Look at that. There's the Bard card. I like that it rhymed.
Ooh.
She's gorgeous. She's darling. She's playing a lute. For anyone who doesn't know what a lute looks like, you can buy these cards and then you will know what a lute looks like. That is it for me tonight. Jen, just let me know when you need a weather event to happen and I will pull a card and tell you what happens in game. But
good.
that is going to be it for our channel announcements. Going into our intros. Hey everybody, if you don't know, I am Sarah. I go by she, her pronouns. You also know me as the TheHypeGoblin. I will be playing Clever Jack tonight. She is our Clever Jack, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Dark beings, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Velvet, fair pronouns, and I'll be playing Ashlot, who uses they, them, and is just the resident Amazonian robot.
We love to see it. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sarah, also Sarah, or Sir Heckalot, either one. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Viridia Croyle, the clever glint who entertains, who uses she, her pronouns. Taking on over to our lovely GM.
And that's me. I'm Jen, and I will be taking you through the world of Numenera. We did have an oddity resolved here in chat, and that will go to Ashalot. And they got a 4-toed boot made of stone that hums.
Ooh.
What happens if you have 5 toes?
I guess
Bad.
you can't wear the boot.
I'm just imagining a boot with like toe socks.
Oh my
I'm imagining
God.
that, but it's a boot.
Or like those it's like shoe like things that people have
Yes!
that like outline each of the toes. That's what I'm imagining. It looks so
Those
weird
are
in my
weird
head.
shoes.
They're very weird shoes.
So
I
weird
don't understand.
shoes.
I'm
Me
sorry, I've
neither.
derailed everything.
Sorry, now all I can see is one of my friends with their weird toe shoes. He wore them for 4 years and I still can't get it out of my mind. Anyways.
Make them platform. That'll fix it.
Probably.
Fixes everything.
Oh no.
But we'll dive right into things and welcome one and all to the story. Chapter 4. There is a saying in a song long past that goes something like this. The stars look very different today. And with perspective shifted, the party seeks knowledge. Factions are formed as the party dives deeper into the mystery of the below. With growing interest from the Sisters of the Watch, the Clission family, and Nate, the party must seek out answers to find the truth of what happened to Emily Winston. With the help of the mysterious She Who Speaks, the party is lured even further into the depths of the unknown. I recall last, dear travelers, that you were kind of separated, split amongst the archives and the library. You did find, if I recall, over in the archives, some information, but you needed further permission to break the seal of truth. The archivist was fairly friendly. He just needed another signature, particularly from the Sister of the Watch called Hansen, the leader of this great organization. And I recall Ashalot and our dear friend who's not here with us at the moment went and talked to the Glowing Eyes to update the map. That's the introduction of a memory. And you found that, yeah, it was simple and easy to do, and the Glowing Eyes was friendly as ever. And you are able to head to the archives, or the library, in which the party will congregate together. As Ashalot, you are already there, and you and Hyacinth are kind of rifling through the library at the moment, much to the tittering dismay of the librarian, who keeps bringing you books and finding pages dog-eared and wrinkled and taking them away to reshelf them. With a gathering of the party, Ashelet, you do see your friends, Jack and Viridia, kind of slide into this great old library that smells of cedar wood, mold, and something else nice and pleasant, probably an undercurrent of coffee or tea. And what would you like to do as you are handed another stack of books by this librarian?
I will try to get my party's attention in case they haven't already seen me.
Look, all I'm saying is that it was incredibly weird that they just got the signature that they needed and we didn't even go ask for it. Like, who told that person that we needed their signature? Like, are we being watched? Do the birds have eyes?
I
Do
think
the
we're being
weasels have
watched,
eyes?
and perhaps. They have very sharp eyes. You said there are a lot of rats around here. I think quite a few are both watching and listening to us.
The rats would never betray me. It's preposterous.
Yeah, metaphorically, I'm referring less to the actual animals, more to people.
All right.
Lots of people walking around. Guess we
That's
gotta
true.
keep a sharper eye for any that might be looking at us too.
Jack is gonna look around and see Ashlot and just zero in. Do you know the rats have eyes?
The librarian gives you a very harsh glare.
Oh, sorry. Did you know the rats have eyes?
Yeah,
Okay, we need to be careful.
they'd be weirder if they weren't.
Did you find anything cool?
Not yet. Kind of just got here. We went to go see the eyes first. Get that map updated.
Oh, really? What happened?
It's the updated map.
But like,
That's all.
so did y'all keep your memories, or like, are those memories like of those places gone? How did it work? Did it hurt?
It didn't hurt.
Huh.
And I don't know if I remember the places. Would I remember what I've forgotten?
Nothing was forgotten. You remember everything. The glowing eyes didn't take anything that wasn't required of them.
Describe to me the door that you punched.
The wall door?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of glowy and shimmery.
Okay, you know what? Checks out. I think you're fine.
Anything new on the map that is more of interest?
Is there anything new?
It's the memories that were provided and nothing more.
All right, well, we went to the archives, and apparently everybody is watching us. Like, there's eyes everywhere. So, apparently we need to check in on the one she who speaks, right? Apparently we need to check in on She Who Speaks, because she knows who we are, but I don't know who she is. And it was weird. It got really weird. I wish y'all had been there for like moral support.
Yeah, it was rather unsettling that we just automatically had clearance without ever
Right?
meeting anybody.
Me. I was given clearance. Me.
That is weird.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Normally I have to, like, I don't know, pick a lock, sneak in, blow a hole in the wall. Like, I didn't get to do any of that.
Is that why you keep the explosives on you to breach places?
Hell yeah. There's no better way to make an entrance than just exploding someone's wall, taking what you need and leave. Come on.
The best way in is through.
It is true. It is absolutely true. So, how do we like start this search for information on this Dr. Emily lady?
Well, we did get a little bit about stars that I think could be a good lead to figure out a little bit more about them. I mean, they had names. It was joy, hope, rage, sorrow, anxiety, and satisfaction, I believe. So maybe trying to find, I mean, anything at all, like even mythological, could lead us to something.
Sounds like a good place, if any.
Jen, how familiar is Clever Jack with the library? I'm leaving how well read she is to be your call.
Well, tell me a story of how often Clever Jack would access information required by an expired library card.
How long did we say my library card was expired for? I feel like I got my library card and then I never went to the library again. Like that's literally, I got it literally for identification purposes and I was like, adios, book people.
It's probably a
Book
few
people.
years old.
Right. So, do we just start looking for books that say stars and also have the doctor's name on that? Like, is there like a, how do we find books here? Do we just ask someone? At the archive, we just ask someone.
The librarian that's standing next to Ashalot, her eyes kind of narrow as she's holding a stack of books and sets them down on the table.
Hi.
These were requested by a friend. As she turns on her heel and leaves.
Excuse me?
She pauses and looks back at you.
Who requested these?
She points over to Hyacinth.
Oh. Thank you. You look lovely. Good work.
Don't shout in my library. And she keeps going.
This is why I never really frequent anything like libraries or archives that often.
I mean, I went into the archives once, but like I wasn't supposed to. Like that was for another job with another group. But you know, that may or may not have any bearing on why the Sisters of the Watch don't particularly care for me. But you know, they couldn't prove anything in the end, so it was fine.
No proof, no crime.
Exactly. Jack will take one of the books and start flipping through it.
Anyone who wants to can roll me an intelligence or seeking or history, anything that would fall under the intelligence roll of your Numenera sheet that would be relevant to this role. It's finding information, it's finding historical artifacts, it's finding anything that you would think would fall within that role, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 2 from my pool
Well.
to do a little bit better on this.
Yeah.
And that lowers, no, okay, do I put that under difficulty or do I put that under edge?
If you pull it down, it would probably be under your edge.
Okay.
Because it's giving you a 2-step
Oh, that's the effort to the
drop.
roll, right?
effort. Yes, excuse me.
Okay. Submit.
There you go.
Hey, I rolled a 17.
Nice.
I might not like books, but you know what? That's all I got.
Yeah, no, this tracks based on the background flaw that I chose. That the difficulty of any task involving lore knowledge or understanding is increased by 1. So this is where we are.
Angela, you are able to find a few things. Viridia, you get distracted by an old band that used to play in the area and start reading through that history. That would be equivalent to a punk rock band in modern terms. They were pretty popular, probably something your granddad would listen to. And Clever Jack, you find the rest of the information, something that would be pertinent, something particularly tied to the stars. And I'll put those information leaflets up on your screen. You can read these in any order you wish.
Ooh.
There is alternate text below if you don't want to read that particular thing.
Okay. You're wanting us to read these out loud?
If you want to.
Okay. Okay, who wants to take which one?
I'll go ahead and take the first one.
Okay. I'll take the second one.
I can do info 3.
Okay. I'll cover.
Oh, I can read out 4 if you
Okay.
want.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Passing around the class. This is very reminiscent. All right. So, info 1. Dr. Emily Winston, lead researcher into dimensional exploration and cipher usage. Second team leader for the Austin Scientific Foundational Discovery Team is what her title is. Dr. Emily Winston was a fifth age scientist classified as one of the most brilliant minds of her age. She is largely responsible for the installation of the She Who Speaks within the Tower of Whispers. Dr. Winston often would push the boundaries of discovery and bring hope to the Aberfell before the division occurred. The tunnel systems that are now part of Aberfell below were once mapped out by Dr. Winston and her team of explorers. She led many trips and brought back vast knowledge that furthered the advancement of Aberfell. Her discoveries led to that of items called the Star Keys, along with an AI known as RAG. Dr. Winston's discoveries were honored throughout the Science Center, now run by the Sisters of the Watch, who ensure quality work. Furthermore, the continued efforts of the sisters helped prevent a second sundering of the city that followed the start of the Sixth Age. Dr. Winston's discoveries to help prevent devastating loss of life between the Fifth and Sixth Ages.
Okay. And I have notes for Dr. Winston's discoveries. Transcribed notes from recordings
Vamos.
22
Pero pongas no chores. Porque es-
from recordings 22309.09.2259 from Dr. Winston. Dr. Emily Winston, we initially made a graph when we had one too many drinks, and Donnie and I realized we were onto something come next morning. How silly to think we made the biggest breakthrough of our life while drunk. A chuckle is heard. Now on to the fun parts, maths. It will be something, don't you think? We have to take in a lot of special thinking of what we can observe, what we cannot observe. We'll have to do some diving into the tunnels for some ciphers, but other than that, we have a good concept to figure out. I cannot wait, ... If it is all true, we'll be able to explore beyond the stars. Finally, the fold gates will lead us to other worlds. And there are graphs notated on here as well. I will make sure for those listening in our audio cast, as well as for those watching along with us, I will make sure that these get uploaded later to the chat with the cast section for you, along with the alt text. That is mine.
All right, information 3, and this one is formatted kind of a script, almost like, you know, what you would think of like a courtroom record. Winston, I discovered something remarkable today. He's redacted. More than I could ever expect. His name is redacted. It's complex, I think. I'm not sure. It's hard to explain. I hope to discover more with him. Redacted is in redacted, made up of both redacted. He says he's redacted. He's also stated that redacted. We should explain more. Redacted and likes to take things at his own pace. We have been redacted. He often acts redacted. He lied to me, hid things from me. I thought it would be different with me, that he'd be honest. Apparently I was wrong. Redacted showed me the truth, and when I confronted Redacted about it, he came clean. It's too late. It's far too late. I don't know what to do. He should have told me the truth. It's too much.
I have the last one, information 4. It is in a form of a wanted poster giving credence to somebody of note and disturbance within the history of the Averfell. It gives credence and gives a historical context to Dr. Winston as well. Dr. Winston is heralded as a hero for letting the civilization at large of the AI known as Rage. He is noted to be dangerous and was ultimately responsible for Dr. Winston's passing. In a wanted poster frame, type notes on the rogue artificial intelligence known as Rage. Type, artificial intelligence 5th age. Class E, dangerous. Warrant, active, ongoing, and preserved since the 5th age. Preservation of warrant is set by the Sisters of the Watch. Reward, 1,000 shins. Notes, do not approach Rage, as he will attempt to spread propaganda in order to destabilize Averfell and the populace at large. Rage is known as Manipulator, said to come from the Ring Tyrant itself. If any sightings of Rage are found or noted, please alert the nearest sister of his presence. The AI is dangerous to humanoid life forms. That's what you learn.
That's a lot.
So there's someone named Rage and someone else that lied to Emily. Is that what I'm gathering?
Maybe, or maybe Rage was the one that lied. It's really unclear.
All right. I guess next. Ugh, are we gonna have to go talk to the Sisters of the Watch to find out who Rage is? She points to handout number 4.
I mean, it sure sounds like they probably know the most out of the different parties that have made themselves known to us.
All right. Well, I'm guessing that's where we can get more info on all of the blacked out portions as well. Should we? I'm going to see if we can make some copies of these. I'll be right back. Jack's going to take all of these sections earmarked and go find the librarian and see if she can get them copied.
You approach the librarian. She looks up from her desk and she looks at you, tilting her head.
Did it hurt?
Yes. Won't.
When you fell from the heavens.
What do you want?
Well, I was wondering if I could get this, and this copied.
3 shins for all the copies.
I'm a little light on funds. How about 2 shins and a cup of coffee later?
3 shins for all the copies.
Oh, come on, please.
He quirks an eyebrow. Roll a persuasion roll.
What would that be? Intellect?
Yes.
Puppy dog eyes from Clever Jack. I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay, let me roll a d20.
Can I flirt my way into cheaper copies?
Oh, there it is. 3 shins for all the copies.
I'll go see if my friends have any shins on them. Can I leave these with you?
She kind of waves her hands and goes back to whatever she was doing.
So the librarian doesn't like me. Does anyone else have an extra shin? It's 3 shins and I only have 2 because I loaned Rydia 25.
I don't think Ashla has spent any shins, so I can cover it.
Oh, great. And heads back over with 3 shins.
Oh, you came back.
Yeah. I always show up when I say I will. Here you go.
You take the money and she makes the copies of what you need, hands them back, staples them to, well, she doesn't staple, she kind of dog ears them with a paper clip and hands them back neatly.
Thank you, gorgeous. See you next time.
When are you going to pay your late fees for your books?
After this job. You see, what happened was I had the money to pay for them, but then my friend came down here and we got totally turned around when we were on a job and she needed to send some things back home. So I loaned her the money to send the full package home. So she didn't just have to send a letter. She could send all the things that she needed to send back home. So, you know, I'm going to get it after this job though. I promise. What's it up?
25 cents.
25 cents?
25 shins.
Oh, okay. 25 shins. Yeah, that's exactly what I loaned my friend. But you are a...
Increases by 5 shins for each additional day. You'll have 30 shins tomorrow.
Well, you have a wonderful day. I will see you when I have those shins. And Jack is just going to, with a big smile on her face and gritted teeth, walk back. Anyone who needs to check out a book needs to get their own library card because I can't afford to pay off mine. And the librarian really doesn't like me.
Well, luckily we don't have to be here much longer. I mean, I don't think we need anything besides the copies, right?
I don't think so, unless there's something else you want to cross-reference here.
I wonder if there's anything more about like any type of news or current events. Like, I don't know, does this library have a microfiche or something anywhere?
Why would it have very tiny fish?
You can make a history check, Viridia.
Oh no. Okay. Heck, as a player is like research brain. There's so many different things that we could use. Rather than like head empty, no thoughts. Like, here we go. Okay, we're gonna try. Come on. Nope. Libraries are not my favorite terrain. I'm sorry.
Well, let's see. Yeah, even with that role, you wouldn't gather, you wouldn't think much outside of that.
All right, then I guess we need to go talk to Tamsin. Jack's favorite person.
Well, sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I was really hoping we wouldn't have to. What if, okay, what if we break into her office, I just explode the whole thing, no one knows we were ever there?
By whole thing, do you mean like the entire center? Because I don't know how they wouldn't know we were there if it, just the office,
You're right, probably not a good idea.
Unless you're planning to frame someone.
Ooh, I like the way you're thinking. Who do we want to frame? Is there anyone we really don't like right now? I'm personally on good terms with everyone, except for, librarian, but I don't really want to flame
different to most
yeah.
everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, normally I would suggest someone that's, the enemy of the watch, but also I want to keep our own doors open, in case we do want to call in some type of favor from, say, like the Clissions or someone else.
Okay.
So maybe no explosions for now, but
Fine, I'll behave myself.
We'll keep a pin on that grenade of an idea.
Ah! Oh.
The DM will insert a little nugget of maybe not attacking a government building.
yeah.
Okay. Fuck around and find out, fam.
We'll find out real fast.
I mean, if you want to, I'm here for that story.
Oh, God.
It's gonna be real weird, real quick.
This becomes a jailbreak campaign. That's all it is. Get arrested, then we have to get out.
All right. So where are you going? Intrepid party.
I think back to Sisters of the Watch.
All right. Go back to the Sisters of the Watch.
Yeah, because that's the only name that I really recognize in all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, to go back. The government building will greet you, the tall two-story building, simple in its opulence, pillared style, exterior. What passes for a garden in front is displayed in front of you. There are people going in and out, not all sisters. Some are scientists, some are people who are normal citizens, some are the keepers of the garden of the tree that is constantly glowing on the other side of the tower. And this is a place of information exchange, and find information. And as you kind of enter, it's busy. There seems to be a court case going on at the moment, and you see a couple lawyers exchanging information out on the recess or having lunch. And kind of in the far back is the administration side. It's off to the right of the building, and you could probably go find Tamsin and the sisters there.
Anyone else here feel kind of out of place? Lots of official types here.
Yep. I am very uncomfortable. And I'm probably going to flirt with Tamsin because that's my defense mechanism. But do you think they're into me? Be honest.
Perhaps. I think I might have to watch how you two interact just a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Mm.
Well, maybe a
I
little
don't know
bit of
them well
chemistry.
enough to make a call.
Mm-hmm.
Neither do I. I was just going based off of our last meeting. Now let's find out.
Right. So you go towards Tamsin's office, and the door is open, and you do see them kind of hunched over their desk, and they look like they're enjoying a break, sipping some tea, quiet observation of whatever they're reading, and they don't look up initially.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. They look up and squint at you before sitting back. They set their teacup down neatly, turning the handle to the side so they don't bump into it. They inhale and kind of stand up and smooth their vests and invite you in.
Jack will sit down. You know, when someone says knock, knock, you're supposed to say who's there.
I see. All right.
Knock, knock.
Please come in and sit down.
No, that's not the... fine. Jack will sit.
Tamsin will sit back down as the rest of you enter.
Oh, please, one of you, just do the joke with me. Don't leave me hanging. It feels so weird.
All right. Who's there? As
Tank.
Viridia goes and sits down.
Tank.
Tank who?
You're welcome. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. That one's just for me.
There's a small snort from Tamsin as they kind of make tea for all of you and set the cups out in front of you.
You don't get to laugh. You didn't do the joke.
This is my office. I think I can snort or laugh and chortle.
You start snorting everywhere and people are going to think that you have a cold. Careful.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, we were wondering, based on some of our own research that we were doing, about what we could remember from the caves, if you know anything or could tell us more about Rage, the AI.
Rage the AI. And then just kept up on my backlog because J. Bob redeemed a bunch of stuff. So for Ash, you get a redeemed edge. For Jack, you get an oddity. For Viridia, you get some lore. All right. So let me roll that oddity for you. Okay.
What I get? I'm scared.
You got a can made of geometric shapes that sparkles under starlight when near children. That's not weird.
I have kid radar?
Nice.
I love oddities because they make no sense in the grand scheme of things, but they're just there to have fun.
It almost like the first thing I thought of when it's in geometric shapes is like it almost sounds like just like a can of like silly bands or something, which makes sense. Like who gets around because they want the silly bands.
Oh, I love it.
All right, let's see. For lore, let's drop some lore down and I'll post that into the chats because I can circle back to that. Fourth Age Memorandums. Leftover remains from the Fourth Age. These monuments are part of a spacing age long forgotten. These were buildings that often served as an area of command when the world was part of a larger whole. Now used as markers as part of desert travels, There are ciphers there, however, they are often guarded by creatures with a deadly reputation. So there's your lore drop. And lore drops bring out the fleshiness of the world. I'm going to use fleshiness today as part of my descriptors, because that's what we do today. But there you go. But yes. Asking Hampton about rage. As you ask them about this particular being, their eyes kind of narrow and they tilt their head. They stand up and go to their door and shut it before they come back in and sit down at their desk. Why are you interested in a rogue AI?
Promise you won't tell the Declisians.
They are not in my servitude and I'm not in theirs. I won't tell.
Okay. Why are we looking for the rogue AI? I already forgot. Jack just
Oh,
looks
I
at
mean,
Veridia.
Yeah, I mean, rage had something to do with Dr. Winston. We weren't exactly forthright with exactly what was on those data cubes. There's a little bit about some stuff from Dr. Winston that just didn't make sense to any of us, quite frankly. We kind of left it out. But she had something to do with this AI. Found it. I mean, at this point, Verdi's probably going to like spread out like the copies of things that we made. She was aware of that AI, and maybe it or something else lied to her, and something horrible happened. I don't know what, and I was hoping that maybe you or the Watch knows what horrible thing happened that made Rage, so dangerous.
Well, as your notes note here, and they'll tap the 4th page, Dr. Winston did discover rage, and she was responsible for letting the civilization and our fair city aware of his presence. I'm guessing that awareness probably made this particular AI angry. As your notes have stated, rage killed Dr. Winston. And beyond that, we don't know much other than they are a danger to our society and they are a danger to our well-being as a whole.
And you don't know where they went? No one's found them?
From what we understand as the Watch, Rage is very elusive, very tricky. We haven't been able to find him since the collapse of the 5th Age and the dawning of the 6th Age. I'm guessing between those two calamities, information on his whereabouts have vanished or obscured or been corrupted in some way that we can't understand.
This other document here that's all redacted, you wouldn't happen to have a non-redacted copy, would you?
I'm sorry, any redacted information is not for civilians.
What if She Who Speaks gave us permission? Does that work here?
Has she been in contact with you?
She gave us a sign-off for the archives.
Hanson stands up quietly and goes to what looks to be a bookshelf and kind of pushes it inwards. Follow me.
Ooh, a secret passage. Is this the part where we get murdered? Because if it is, you gotta tell us ahead of time. I gotta work on my damsel in distress scream.
I'm thinking of the abyss I throw your bodies in.
Oh. That sounds kind of nice, actually. All right.
You see a small smile on Tamsin's face as they lead you into this tunnel and they kind of shove the bookshelf back into place.
As we're walking along, Jack leans over and whispers to the others, I think they like me.
Yeah, I think that at this point, we, at the very least, we would definitely know if they didn't.
Right.
How did you garner the attention of the being known as She Who Speaks?
Well, you know, us exquisite beings, we all just know of one another. Just, it's a natural thing.
Tamsin pauses and turns. Honesty will only get you so far, but it needs to be honesty.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't know what we did.
Quite frankly, we're not sure what exactly garnered her attention, but it's something that has gotten us a favor or two, apparently.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe she just likes her hair.
Whatever the case, please be respectful to her. She is one of the oldest living beings in this city.
Oh, we're on our way to meet her?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I actually thought we were getting murdered. That is so much better.
Why would I murder you?
I don't know, because you're leading me through a secret passage in your office that you moved a bookcase to get through? Who wouldn't go, oh, I'm probably going to get murdered? Either that or some guy in a mask is going to come out and start singing with me with a whole bunch of candles around him. I saw this play once up on the surface. It was absolutely wild. It was talking about something that happened back in the Fourth Age, but you know what? The lead singers were just, loved them. Yeah. Oh, no, you're not going to start singing, are you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Ridiculous play. It's like, kind of keep walking, shaking their head.
It's a wonderful play. Are you kidding me? The score is just outstanding.
Why is he singing to people in the dark?
I don't know, because there's a lot of candles and just I don't know, limited options.
Does he sing with the candles on, or does he just, light them as he sings?
Oh no, on stage they were all lit. They just kind of were pushed in from the side. I don't know how they did it. And at a certain point, the light fixture from the ceiling dramatically fell towards the stage, and it was all planned. We had to sign a waiver.
That seems dangerous and convoluted.
I mean, best art usually is.
I don't want to see that play.
Right then. Go with something
However,
easier.
I do like the one about kinky boots as they keep walking.
Huh.
That tracks.
That does track.
But as you kind of walk along, and Tamsin kind of keeps an even pace so you can keep up with them. They eventually stop at a door and they press their hand against what looks to be a solid obsidian surface. And you see a ripple of blue light kind of pulsate from it. And the wall kind of shifts in a way that curtains part. And they step through and they kind of beckon you in.
Steps through.
The space is very warm. Only a weather card.
Oh, goodness. We're going to go from middle of the deck. And we got the fighter. And that is Erupting Geysers. Duration 1 hour. 500-meter radius. Active effect. 1 new geyser erupts from a 5-foot hole randomly placed in the area, DM's discretion, scalding anyone within 10 feet of the hole. With boiling hot water. Creatures caught in the blast must make a DC 10 dexterity saving throw. A target suffers 2d6 fire damage, or half that on a successful saving throw.
All right. I'm going to put a little twist into that, if I may.
All right. And for anyone listening, if you'd like to add some weird weather effects to your game, we're using the Weird.Works Empress Deck and their weird weather PDF that they send out with their deck. Code HypeGoblin for $5 off.
The space is warm, and you see on flickering, almost LED screens in this round, almost oval-shaped rooms, the beautiful cascading effect of sharp landscapes rising up above, and these gentle slopes of what looks to be streams and water gently trickling from different points. Occasionally, you see what looks to be a geyser erupting in the distance. It's sudden and dramatic, and you feel a spray of mist on your skin. Very lightly, but it's warm water, and you get this smell of sulfur.
It's kind of like a spa treatment, but stinky. I like it. Should come hang out here.
You will only come here if I'm guiding you here, but it is nice. It changes every time we enter into this space.
Is it like a magical thing, or just like the landscape is changing that fast sort of thing?
I don't think it's magical. That's preposterous. We live in the real world.
So if you like stayed here and watched for a couple hours, you could see how it changes and just like kind of watch it change? Or do you just not come here often? Like, how often do you come here?
Only when I'm required, but it only changes when I re-enter the space.
Huh. That's kind of neat.
Tamsin nods. Do you want to sit or do you want to remain standing?
Yes.
Tamsin will pull out some chairs and line them out for all of you and give a bow of their head, and they'll step back away, almost obscured by the darkness that is beyond these LED screens. But they're there, they're present, just watching and observing.
Jack is going to sit down in one of the chairs, curl one leg up underneath her, and one leg goes over the armrest as she sits sideways in the chair. It's pretty comfy, actually.
Birdie will also take a seat.
So will Ash stop?
So what do you two think we need to ask while we're here? Should we come up with a game plan? Should we, I don't know, coordinate? Should
Probably
we?
That sounds odd, but I mean, it seems like a very good idea.
Approach.
Should we just throw a little bit of explosives onto the geyser and see what happens?
No. We are guests here.
Oh,
I have to
fine.
remind you, it might be a really bad idea.
I mean, it changes every time that Tamsin comes here, so it might just change right back. It's technically science. Technically.
They did scoff at magic. Seems
Tell you
like
what.
science is the way to go with them.
I'll tell you what, one of the questions we can ask is if you can do that, and if they say no, that's the final word, yeah?
Okay, fine.
As you sit there, talking amongst yourself in the center of a room, pulling itself up from the floor, are threads of gold and silver woven fabric. They kind of dance and collapse in dust and pull themselves up again, forming over and over again before they come to this strange, disconnected form. Made up of delicate gold and silver, floating limbs and head, eyes pupilless and bright silver color, lips quiet and unmoving. And in your head, you all hear, I was wondering who would answer the call, and here you all are.
There was a call?
There's a childlike laughter before the form of this being shifts again, almost folding into itself like a gentle wave before she stands in front of you. Same disconnected form. There's always a call.
Can I roll to see if I know what she who speaks is? Is this AI?
Roll. Intelligence, you would get a reduction in your roll as you have some information on her.
Okay. $20.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, you know her to be the AI, she who speaks. You know this information from the information you gathered on Emily Winston.
Okay.
And you also know that she is the AI that kind of runs the city. She's kind of connected to various points. She is kind of the lifeline between the two cities itself, the above and below. She is oracle, she is prophet, she is governance, and she's a voice of reason.
Okay. So, have you called others?
I've called all others since the dawning of the first age. Those who can slip through time come to see me.
Wait, did we slip through time?
I'm not sure. Did you?
I don't know. I have been very confused for the last 48 hours.
I think confusion is a natural state of being.
Jack is just nodding seriously, like that absolutely makes sense.
Questions?
What do you know about the walls that are doors and the doors that are walls?
I think you have to have a door in order to make it a non-wall, but when a door is shut, it becomes a wall.
Unless you go through it.
If you go through it, then it's no longer a wall, it is simply a hole.
So it's more of a spectrum then.
I would like to think
changing
so.
constantly.
I have so many doors in my house then.
We just blew so many minds at that. Like, I'm just like sitting here processing for a second. Well, philosophical quandaries aside, we were wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about Dr. Winston and maybe her relationship with the AI Rage. We've found a fair amount of information, but some of it's been redacted.
Dr. Emily Winston was my creator, in all sense of the words, my mother. She established me during the Fifth Age as a way to help governance the city before the divide occurred. The sundering of the city before it was split between the above and below. The city used to be all on the surface at one point. As you can see now, that is no longer the case.
My condolences on her passing.
All things pass. It is the nature of things. The Fifth Age was enlightenment, if anything. It was something new. Different. There was such hope in that little age. She looks very sad for a moment before she tilts her head and kind of almost collapses in on herself and reappears in the center, mimicking your pose, Jack, as they fold her legs underneath herself. Rage is an AI unlike any other, unique in his form. He was both with purpose and then without purpose. He had to find new direction, and when he didn't find it, I think he lashed out. The stories are a bit muddled, and I cannot see everywhere.
What kind of attempts have been made to find him?
Many. Exploratory.
Does he have any friends? Who created him?
He was created by a being beyond us, an observer of sorts, someone who wished to experiment and test the boundaries of what can be and what should be and what must not be.
Okay, that leaves me with more questions than answers. Do you know who was lying? Was Rach the one that was lying to your mother? Or was that someone else? She mentioned that someone lied to her.
I'm
Jack?
not sure entirely.
Do you know anything about the fold gates that your mother mentioned?
Fold gates are various points between the world. They act as a way of transport, usually between points of interest, points of trade, and points of knowledge.
Okay. Do you know where these gates are?
All over the world.
Okay, but like is there like a because we went through some kind of gate and it dumped us into the Sisters of the Watch and then like disappeared behind us. Is that a fold gate?
That is not a fold gate. It's more of a temporal shift.
Okay. Where's the nearest fold gate?
In the byway tunnels.
Okay.
There is also
it's-
one. She kind of tilts her head. In the vaulted shard.
Do I know what the voltage shard is?
Roll a history check. That'll be an intelligence.
19. Jack, what did you do today?
On a roll.
Golly.
Rolls, plural.
I would say, Ashla, you could also roll history as it twigs something in your memory.
Ooh.
You can roll with a step reduced.
How do I put that in?
In 1 second, let me pull up the sheet. You would go to your intelligence roll and click on your roll there. Click on the intelligence. Difficulty, I would say you can reduce it down to a standard roll.
Okay, cool.
And to an effort, put a 1 into it. All right, look at you guys. Well done.
We know so many things.
You know so many things.
So many.
I feel like
All
Jack
right.
knows a very limited amount of things, but she knows a lot about that limited amount.
I like that. Yeah. Ashalot, you know the Voltage Shard as part of a landmark that your company would pass by quite often. It's kind of obvious as to what it is. It's a kind of leaning, sharp pointed building made of obsidian stone, and it has a red glowing door on it, and looks like a shard, more or less, standing against the sky. And for both of you, you would know it's located in the southwest region of your continent. And the vault is from the 7th Age. It stands against a kind of a darkened sky, and it has a rocky and barren landscape around it. This is one of the few and strange weather phenomenons that kind of obscure this area. There is no rhyme or reason as to why it exists. It's just simply there. The door to the entrance of the vault is bathed in red, as if to warn others not to enter. There are rumors that the vault holds a great weapon, while other rumors believe that it holds a fold gate that leads to other worlds. And I can get that information into the Discord for you.
That'd be super helpful.
Yeah, I typed all this
You're,
stuff
like,
out.
frantically writing things in this
Yeah, if you
notebook.
ever need information, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I have it all typed out, so I can just put it into
Perfect.
the lore. It's going into lore history for you guys.
Thank you. Okay. Jack's going to absorb all that information. We found some recordings of Emily. She was very excited, it sounded like, towards the end, about a discovery that she had made that was going to be groundbreaking the world changing. Do you know what that was? Was it these gates?
The gates have been around for a while. They were the most constant thing throughout the ages. I'm guessing her discovery had to lie in with Rage and what he was.
Okay. Are there any further records pertaining to Rage that we can have access to?
See her pause for a moment. You will have to find a point of translation, but I can give you a data cube.
What would a point of translation mean in this context for us?
It would be like those machines that translated the data cubes you initially used.
Okay. Tamsin, you got a point of translation we can use?
Tamsin steps forward. It depends on what age it's from.
What age is it from?
She who speaks kind of chuckles. It's from the 5th age. Unfortunately, the city is in the 9th age, and technology like that doesn't quite exist within our walls.
Any idea on where we gotta go to find something from the 5th age?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember if the player that Hyacinth got from the cave was something that could play this data cube or not. I don't know if I'm misremembering something. Like, for some reason I remember Hyacinth like taking something off of that central machine.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a lightning gun.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lightning gun.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Never mind.
That was an artifact being pulled from.
Okay.
Would the machine that we listened to, would we recognize that as being from the 5th age?
You would, yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think we know where we can find one if we want to make the trek back.
Assuming it still works. It, ate some of the data cubes, so hopefully it doesn't do that again.
I wonder if we can just... Did that machine look like something we could have moved?
Put it into the context of the 1970s, 1960s computers.
Okay. In massive, okay.
It massive.
All right. Well, we can try and trek back there or find another one, I guess.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about stones that sing and conjure memories and also sparkle?
He who speaks ponders the question for a moment. Many things. However,
Yeah?
that is classified beyond you, and I cannot speak of it unless you discover more and come to me with an answer.
I don't understand the response. Can you please rephrase? Jack just kind of leans in a little bit confused.
She wiggles her head, or what would be a head, and says, information is only granted if information is provided.
Gotcha.
If you speak of it first, who am I not to elaborate upon it?
Uh-huh. Okay. Jack's just gonna lean back and look to the other two with like a raised eyebrow. Out of character. Do we want to talk to this AI about the stone that we found and gave to Nate?
I mean,
Or should we go tell Nate that she who speaks knows something, but we need to tell her in order to get more information?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, are we gonna
yeah,
come back here?
right. Jack knows Nate better than we do. Would he consider that like breach of contract or?
Jack, or Jen, Jack knows Nate more than we do. Would I consider that a breach of contract? A breach of handshake. Sorry, we're not contract employees. We established this.
Important.
It's a handshake contract.
You don't know Nate well enough to determine that.
Yeah, okay. Jack just, as this silent conversation between the three of us goes on, her hands just go up at her sides and just a I don't know look rumbles across her face. So, if we return with information about the stone, you'll tell us more.
That is what we agreed upon.
That seems fair.
The only question I would have about that then is, do we go back to Tanzan about getting back here, or is there a better way for us to walk in and see you or contact you?
Oh, and Skip seeing wonderful, smiley, bubbly Tansen again? Come on.
Tamsin kind of snorts.
Yeah, see? They like me.
You can come back through Tamsin. They are my guardian. They'll lead you here when they think it's appropriate.
Good to know. Good to know. I think I have just one more question, if you'll entertain. When we went to the archives, and also thank you for just the clearance to actually walk in. That wasn't something we agreed upon, but we appreciated it quite greatly. And we learned a little something while we were there. Not a lot, but a little something about these stars that Emily had been researching. And there was a list of names like joy, hope, rage, sorrow, anxiety, and satisfaction. I couldn't help but start to draw lines between that, considering rage is one of the AIs. Are the rest of these stars AIs?
Kind of tilts her head to one side and thinks for a moment. No. Rage is the only AI made from stars.
Oh. So Rage the Star and Rage the AI are the same thing, but the rest of the stars have not been turned into AI. Are they still just stars?
You'll nod.
What exactly do these stars do? Are they like a superpowered data cube? Like, how do you turn one into an AI?
There's a pause as you can almost see her pupilless eyes kind of flicker around the room real quick. And you see that the LED screens blink and flicker out, and everything goes quiet.
Oh, was it something I said?
We cannot be observed for the time being.
Oh, we
The
were being
star
watched?
touch- We are always being watched.
I am suddenly uncomfortable. Okay.
The Sisters of the Watch. They watch.
I
If
thought it was
only if it was the sisters.
I thought, you know, Sisters of the Watch was more like, you know, like their job title, not the thing that they're doing all the time. You know, kind of like, I don't know. I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head, but like, just, I didn't think it was so literal. Who was watching?
She who who speaks kind of leans forward, almost mimicking your movements, Viridia's movements, Ashalot, as if she's trying to understand what it's to be a humanoid. And she'll say, "The Star-Touched Maiden forms experiments beyond our understanding."
Why is everything in my life just one riddle after another? Who's the Star-Touched Maiden?
One who made rage.
It's not the Declisians, is it?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Their power pales in comparison to hers.
Oh boy.
Reading that lore drop, I'll post it into the chat. You get the Tethered Ghost. A being made up of unknown light and humanoid shape. It is often found in high concentrations of ciphers or artifacts, often leeching their energy into its own form. Not dangerous unless provoked, and then it unleashes electrical damage that is near impossible to avoid.
Oh.
Shocking.
Well, anyone else got any other questions?
I feel like I had 30 walking in here, but now my brain just hurts. And I feel like I need a very strong drink.
If you need any more doors open, let me know. You have a friend within these halls.
We keep collecting friends, and I don't know if I like that.
Well, thank you. Thank you kindly.
He'll turn towards you, Ashalot, observing you quietly for a moment before she speaks and says, "Is there anything you would like to know?"
Yeah. What do you know about those obelisks?
They are transformation in its purest form. They are more than just simple stone and waypoints. They hold boundaries between the ages.
Can they be used more than once?
They've been used 9 times. 10. As she tilts her head at you.
Does it work in reverse?
It's a bit more complicated than that, but with a bit of effort, I'm sure it could be.
Good to know.
Are you wanting to go back?
I don't know. You skip a lot of inconveniences being metal, but it's cumbersome.
Well, if you ever decide you do want to go find one, I'll go with you. Make it like a Little vacation, little holiday. Little live, laugh, love. We'll go find you again.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
You do
Your
look really
peace.
cool like this, though.
You do.
I do, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Jack just leans over and there's just a little clink as she flicks your arm. All right. Well, thank you, I guess, for your time.
My pleasure. I will leave you with this, and you can choose what you want to do with it when the time comes. But the statement is, you will have to make a choice, and it will rest on you four to make that choice.
Yeah, I definitely need a drink. I cannot handle any more riddles today. This is a lot. I have trouble deciding what I want for breakfast.
Door opens behind you. Light spills in, and the LED lights kind of flicker on, and the same geyser themed space fills the room. Faint smell of sulfur. Spray of water on your cheeks. Warm. Just as it was before.
Jack will get up and head out.
Same.
Likewise.
You are standing outside the Tower of Whispers, the sharp shard of shadow that lies across the city, standing ominous and quiet in the middle of this grand vastness of seas of peoples and buildings. Which is strange because you were at the government buildings, opposite sides of the city.
Is Tamsin still with us?
Samson's behind you, and the door closes behind them as they give you a look, and they'll give you a nod before they start heading away.
Hey, you like raisins, by the way?
They pause and turn. If they're chocolate covered.
Oh. I can make that happen. How do you feel about dates? Jack will wink at her. Sorry, them.
I like them covered in honey.
Make that happen too.
Samson nods with vanilla ice cream.
Both eyebrows just go up. Nods.
You're talking to the oblivious ace person as they walk away.
Jack is picking up on that
Mhm,
and loving every minute of it.
mhm.
I think Tamsin might be my favorite NPC so far.
Pretty great. That was smooth. Saw what you did there.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Right? Had to do a little bit of mental gymnastics when they didn't go along with the date portion, but you know, we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Oh, and if Hyacinth and I figured out what Crocodog is, the eyes told us.
And you waited until now to tell us? That's like
I It wasn't relevant to the walls and doors discussion. Crocodile is a little black hole.
What?
Yeah.
And as you pondered that, we'll go to a quick break.
Perfect.
Camera cut off.
Oh, thank you everyone so much for hanging out. My mind was just blown, just like Jack's was. So go refresh your drinks, get yourself a snack, have yourself a cup of coffee, or go to TheHypeGoblin.com and pick up some wonderful show merch from this show or any of the others that have been on the channel. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out with us. We will be right back. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Hang on, let me get to the right button. Okay. Bye everybody. hope you had a great break. I did too. Jen and I sat here and we reminisced about previous characters, and I forgot to go refresh my water. So you know what? That's fine. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out with us for the break. If you are just joining and you missed the first half, go back and listen later. Go back and listen to the podcast. We have a podcast now, y'all. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, we do.
I'm having a lot of fun with it too. So definitely go check that out if you haven't. Also, be sure to send a little love if you are interested to Weird.Works and Rook and the Raven. They are sponsors. You can use code HYPE at Weird.Works to get $5 off their Empress Tarot deck. That is all D&D themed. And you can use code HYPEGoblin to get 15% off your purchase from Rook and the Raven off your total order over there. So thank you so much to those wonderful, wonderful folks. And let's get back into it. Jen, throw us back in.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, viewers. Welcome, listeners. And welcome, beautiful party members. A question posed to all of you. What are you thinking right now?
Why did they say honey when I said the second half of the pickup line? Like, that was kind of obvious. I really don't understand why they didn't get that. They obviously like me. They laugh at my jokes, but I'm not sure that they like me. Like, how do you know when someone likes you? Should I take them? Should I ask them on like a date point blank? Should I just show up with flowers? Do they even like flowers? I should probably research some more.
Thoughts rambling through your head, Jack. What are you thinking, Viridia?
I think right now what's going on in Viridia's has just a sea of like just information that we've acquired in a very short amount of time, like trying to connect the voice of Emily on the tapes to certain sections that we've now seen in the copies, and trying to connect names like Rage with the stars, seeing how graphs superimpose over on other information in her brain, and it's just trying to grasp all of this in the most ways that she can.
Trying to piece together a bigger puzzle, bigger than even yourself. Those thoughts run through your head as we turn to Ashalot. What's going through your head?
First and foremost, they're pretty pleased that the news of Crocodile being a black hole went over pretty well. And then probably just thinking back to the obelisk incident and wondering, do they would they go back like to formula if they had the option? Or, especially She Who Speaks saying that it doesn't work exactly that way. And if maybe it would just spit them out as like something different, like water or something.
Crocodile kind of curls into your arms, happy and spiky as they always are. This little black hole of whatever they are exists in the space you share.
I like to think that Crocodile just has that like really deep, somehow both wise and vacuous look that certain cats have.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah. And as they kind of look up at you, another question kind of formulates in your mind. Who do you think you can trust?
Well, if it's Jack, no one, but also everyone. Very indecisive. Very, very, very indecisive.
Ashtot's pretty mercenary, so whoever pays, which so far has only really been Nate.
I think you can trust Viridia.
I mean, the people that have been the most forthright with their information, I feel like are the ones that Freya has trusted the most. Like She Who Speaks is just, yeah, she kind of talks around things and says things in a lot of riddles, but like at the end of it, still gave us some pretty good information. And without seeming like judgment or overt acts of charisma, it's just she simply is. So I think that's kind of the line that she's going down right now, at least.
All right. With those questions formulating in your minds, folding and folding and fracturing and regrouping, where are you going?
Well, you said you might have wanted a drink, Jack.
Yeah, that I did say that. Do either of you have money to buy drinks? I have 2 shins to my name.
Well, you know where I'm just about at. Currently none,
Yeah.
so.
I can cover this one. You save a lot of money when you don't need Rue for food.
Oh, This is why you're my favorite. Don't tell the others.
Are you sure?
What?
No, I yeah. That's also very funny.
Yeah, I mean, until we find a blacksmith or something, there's not much for me to spend my money on. Oh, and the best thing is Crocodog doesn't even need like Crocodog food. So like, how I said black hole? They just eat whatever. They turn it into like some weird other matter and just like inhale it. So they just eat whatever.
Interesting, but also terrifying.
If there's like another rock or something nearby, I'll try to feed that to Crocodog to demonstrate for science.
Crocodog sniffs at this rock, and you all see it turn into dust-like particles before it pulls into a spaghetti-like strand and is absorbed into Crocodog's mouth.
That is... I could have used them on a few heists. Not gonna lie.
I mean, just don't let him near the hall.
That's true. That's true.
Good news is I asked, and it doesn't look like he's going to get any bigger, so.
No.
I hope not. But what if he did?
I'd be slightly worried.
All right.
See, sometimes when you have that look on your face, Jack, I get a little concerned.
What look?
It's just there's obviously something cooking. There's something you're thinking about there about a larger crocodile. I'm a little terrified of what it might be.
I mean, don't worry about it. It's fine. I got it all under control.
All right.
Jen, the DM, realizes the eldritch horror I have created purely off of my card pull.
It's only going to get worse because I am also in the game with this eldritch horror that you have created, so.
Can't wait. I love it. Let's do it.
Nothing could go wrong.
But are you going for drinks then?
Yeah.
All right. You can go to what is known as the Blue Ghost pub. It is a kind of a rave house style esque pub with neon lights, low kind of visibility, lighting that kind of highlights the drinks from underneath, and it's kind of a techno punk music thrumming throughout this shop, and the floors are weirdly sticky. You don't know why, but for whatever reason they are. There's people of various sizes, shapes, heritages kind of lingering it out, and you see people being served and people eating foods and snacks. It's a nice atmosphere.
So, Bearda, how strong of a drink do you want?
Let's say like maybe about half as strong as Ashlot.
It'll kill you.
We would like 2 purple lizards over here, please.
2 purple lizards, as you hear a person shout, and these beautiful glasses are displayed, and somebody kind of pushes them away and said, no, the proper ones, and a fishbowl is displayed, and blue liquid goes in, and it slowly turns purple as this additional liquid is added in. Some berries and sugar are added on top, and what looks to be a little toy lizard is placed on top with its tongue sticking out.
Okay, now, drink it slowly. It is delicious. It is the most refreshing drink you will ever drink, but do not gulp it. You will be tempted to. Do not. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Fishbowl drink.
Yeah. Oh God.
It is delicious. And you get a sensation of sweet undercut by this nice sourness of what seems to be a lemon flavor, only for it to become more citrusy like oranges. And then there's a hint of cinnamon kind of creeping in underneath all of that. And then the very light, delicate taste of mint.
Ah, that's the good stuff.
You call this a purple wizard?
Purple lizard.
Lizard.
Lizard,
Okay.
like the little toy that they got floating right there.
Lizard bobs in your drink a little before it sadly sinks to the bottom.
Don't worry, if you finish the drink, you get to take it home with you.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yep, I got 5 of them.
Radia takes it back to the apartment, and it recognizes just this like small collection of lizards on the shelf. That's where that's from.
Roll me a D100 for Radia.
Oh
no.
boy.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
There
I'm
we go.
scared. Uh-oh. What does this mean? 33.
Okay. As you are pondering this, you look down at the lizard in your glass. It starts to fizz a little, and then you see a orange kind of fizz kind of pile up, and then you see like a little capsule float to the top and unfold that says "Winner."
Oh, no
Y'all see that?
fair. You
What
got a
does- what does
fancy
it-
one.
What does that mean?
Oh, it means you won something. I want to win something. Jack just
Oh,
stares straight down into her drink to see if her lizard's gonna do the same thing.
I'll take this I guess like the little like tablet or whatever is like floating at the top, and then just like walk over to the bar, I guess. Say this just appeared in my drink. Should I be concerned at all?
And they look over and like, oh, you want a free drink? Neat. 1 second. They turn around and they make something else and hand it to you. This is the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
What?
Well, that's quite the name. Who decided to name that?
I think for a moment, a professor who was drunk.
Yeah.
Can you say that name again, Jen?
Yeah. Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. It's a real drink and it's delicious.
That's
Love
amazing.
that.
I will describe it. It's a having your brain smashed in by a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick. Then the best drink experience, adapted with earthly ingredients, of course, is for you. Add a few gold flakes to this drink, and you get this kind of unique mojito style drink, more or less.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Sounds incredibly delicious.
It's very green. Has a lot of vodka and tequila and a lot of stuff.
Nice.
There's a lot of stuff in it.
All right. Yeah, Brady will just take that drink on back to the table. It's like, well, it looks like I won the opportunity to get more inebriated.
Nice. Stares back down at her. Lizard. I don't think I'm
Your
gonna win
lizard.
anything.
Your lizard has somehow managed to float up, kind of in the middle, horizontally.
It's doing that weird, like, there's an air bubble in the snoot float.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did we get involved with, y'all? Like, what? Do either of you understand anything that's going on?
No.
Not at all.
Cool.
I mean, we came down to get a job from Nate, and then it's really just snowballed from there now, hasn't it?
Yeah. And he also didn't pay us, the little booger.
So
I
he's
mean-
off the list. We know we can't trust him.
Oh. He said he would pay for information, so I guess we can go back with the information we have. I really need some money. All I know is that the Declisians are totally out for me. That's they scare me. And not in the fun, kind of exciting sort of way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just regular scared, not
Yeah.
scaroused.
Yes. That's true.
I'm less scared of him just in general, and more if we ever were to, make some type of agreement and not be able to follow up as much as they would like us to. Just crossing them at all seems like a horrible idea.
Well, if we never interact with them, then technically we can't cross them.
Hopefully they see that the same way.
I mean, I've been down here for a while, and that was the first time that they ever, like, invited me to anything. So, we might be okay.
I
Jack.
sure hope so.
Jack's gonna go against her own advice and take a very long drink of her drink.
Do you think like I do is who's offering us anything?
It seems like everyone has a piece of the puzzle, but they don't want to share it with us until we share what we know. But we don't really know all that much. We just found a sparkly rock and then gave it to Nate. Wait, did he pay us for the sparkly rock? That little. We're getting paid by him. He took our sparkly rock.
Sounds like we need to take the money and the sparkly rock to teach him a lesson.
Or
I like
just
how
the
you
money.
think.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
settle for the money. I'm not entirely sure I want the sparkly rock, but I definitely want the money. Another long drink of her drink.
I mean, where do we go forward from here? We have this data. Well, yeah, we have this data cube. We could go to play that because we know where we got to go. Is there anything else?
Looks back at notes. Let's see here. Okay, out of character. I think we covered all of the Emily stuff that was in those handouts. We found out about Rage. If we go to talk to Nate, we could try asking Nate about Rage.
Hmm.
Nate seems like he'd know some shady shit. What was the deal? Nate talked about us finding information for payment. It was just information pertaining to the stone that we gave him, right?
Largely, yes.
Okay. So, okay. So we could take all of this photocopied information and we could take it to Nate and get some money. And then go listen to the little cubey thingy. We could also see if Nate has a way to play it.
Mm-hmm. He is the closer option at the moment, so yeah, going to him first is probably the best idea.
He might be making something good for dinner too.
Hmm. Yeah, I could definitely go for something right now. I don't know if the drunchies are kicking in for y'all yet, but
What's he gonna charge to let us play it on whatever he might have, though?
Nothing if we negotiate it right. We could threaten to take it to the Declisians or to the Sisters of the Watch. So
True.
true. Play in the field. It's a very good idea.
okay. Are we gonna go see Nate tonight?
I mean, how late is it?
About dinner time.
If we're gonna catch him making food, we should probably go soon. Jack is going to chug the rest of her drink.
If during this combo, Brittany at this point has tried to finish the fishbowl and the Pan Galactic. So she probably stands up and is like, "Hold on, room's spinning a little bit. Just gotta get my bearings again."
Oh, if you
Alright.
spin
Alright.
with the room, it gets better.
Huh?
Both will take a point of difficulty on your future rolls.
This is fair. We decided this. We accept this.
You decide. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
No rules.
Become
records.
uncomfortable. Right. So, Ashla, you're herding 2 cats, basically, over to Nate's.
I'll just like scoop them up under each arm and haul them there. Depending on how bad
Easily
they are.
enough. Yeah, easily enough done for somebody like you're big and buff and strong.
Jack puts both arms stretched out in front of her and stretches out her legs behind her, and she's just pretending to fly the whole way there.
They're in good time. And as you enter the shop, Nate calls out, "We are about to close. I'm sorry." "Oh, it's you 4. "Hello.
What? You're not happy to see us?
It's dinner time."
Yeah, I thought that we
That's why
could.
we're here.
Yeah, I thought we could all just, get together, have a meal, have a nice chat, talk about receiving payment for the stone that we gave you that you took without paying us. Maybe also give you some information pertaining to said stone for payment. The usual. Just a friendly little conversation. And Jack is going to sit on his desk and lean over.
Gives you a look, looks at his desk, looks to you. "Would you like rubiota?"
A what?
He kind of pulls out a stew and sits it down. "It's dinner."
Ooh, yeah. Do you have some crusty bread to go with it?
He kind of points to a shelf behind him.
Jack will jump down from the desk and go get the bread.
Good, nice bread, sourdough.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. She'll cut it up and pass it out to everyone who eats.
If there is an open close sign present, Ashla will flip it to closed.
Right. Jack sits down and provides you all food, and he pours you all water after he assess the situation. And he kind of leans onto his elbow and looks you all over. "I recall the stone was given to me freely, so you don't get payment for that, but information I can still provide.
Rude.
I'm a businessman." He winks.
All right. How much are you willing to pay for information regarding the stone and what it may pertain to? My going rate is currently starting at 50 shins.
35.
45.
40.
Fine.
He takes out a purse and sets it on the table. 40 for each of you. The information was gathered collectively.
Jack will take her 40. Okay, who
Write
wants to
that
start?
now.
You explain why you've come to bother me at dinner time?
We were hungry.
Yes. There are shops in the city.
Yeah, but we also wanted to bring you some information because you'll pay for it. So what do you know about Rage, the AI? Does that ring any bells for you?
Stories parents tell children. Be good or the nasty AI will come steal you from your bed.
Well, apparently the good doctor that we learned about when we found that sparkly stone that we gave you was killed by them.
Huh. All right.
And the AI's whereabouts are since unknown.
Okay. I mean, it's good information, but it's a boogeyman you're telling me about, more or less.
Well, if we had official record about it.
Well, less of a boogeyman and more of a myth, don't you think?
Not if there's an official record with the Sisters of the Watch putting out a bounty for them.
Legend, then. Go on, you've piqued my interest.
Yeah, we'll take out the photocopies.
He kind of pulls them to him and then he kind of spreads them over the table to read them over. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Has the stone done anything since we left it with you?
Nothing of particular note. It glitters now and then, but other than that.
No singing, no jogging memories that were long since forgotten.
No.
Have you analyzed it at all to see what it's made out of?
No, I've been quite busy. I do run a shop and I only get a few hours to myself a day.
Is it possible that it's a star?
Star.
Yeah, star. Constellations, stars, twinkle in the sky. What-do-do-do-do?
Stars are gaseous beings that exist in space.
Right. Because the star became an AI. And that AI killed the doctor.
I think this stone is part of that larger puzzle.
I mean, maybe the doctor, one of the discoveries, you'll see it in one of the, I think it was the history, that she discovered what are called star keys, whatever that means. Maybe this is a key of some sort.
Eat your food, as he stands up and goes to the back room of his shop and comes out with the box you have given him and sits back down and opens it and turns it towards you. And inside is that glowing, soft, glittery stone that you recovered.
Jack's gonna pick it up.
As you pick it up, there is a momentary pause before you feel something almost brush against your memory. Something sweet.
She's gonna try and lean into that.
You hear the sound of birds twittering softly. Feel
Nate,
the warmth of sun.
Nate, do you have a pet bird?
They're atrocious things, no.
Why am I currently hearing them?
I don't know.
Jack's gonna try and listen closer to the bird sounds. Do they sound like a particular species of bird that she might be familiar with?
Would you allow a DM intrusion?
Hell yeah.
Take your XP.
Nice.
You lean into the sound. The warmth of a summer day and the spreading fields of grass and crop before you, and next to you is your sibling. Your parents are maybe 20 feet away, gathering the harvest. These birds only come in the spring. They're nesting birds. They like to hide in the field. And your father finds them rather ridiculous, but has a soft fondness for them as he finds them to be of good luck. And your mother thinks they're sweet because of their motherly nature and protectiveness and the lengths they'll go to protect their young. It is spring, and the fields are on fire. And suddenly you're back in Nate's shop.
She's gonna drop the stone and stand up quickly, letting her chair clatter to the floor. Have you physically touched it?
No. Why would I do that?
Why does it keep showing me my family?
I don't know.
Do you have anything in this shop about things that pull memories unwillingly?
He kind of looks around. Well, we have the memory extractor over there, but that's about 10,000 shins and well out of your price range.
Yeah, no, I'm talking
And-
about books, you goober.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're a cipher shop, my dear.
There's not like a Ciphers Roadshow manual of like no known ciphers that y'all have collected. Shopkeepers really need to create an information network for this sort of stuff to catalog and study. You know, it's just, oh gosh.
That's
All
a
right.
book of records you're not privy to. Sorry.
Somehow I feel like it wouldn't help us either way. Either of you two want to try it again?
I mean, I can, but I think the only way that Nate's going to know what we're talking about and really understand is if he does it. Would you please just entertain this? We're all here should anything go wrong. I promise.
I like your cooking too much to actually hurt you, so, you know, you're safe.
All right. He reaches over very hesitantly and kind of brushes his fingers over the stone and kind of rolls it in his hands. You see his brow furrow for a moment before he kind of tilts his head as if to listen. Then he puts it down carefully. Interesting.
What did you see? Family? Friends?
The day I made a promise to somebody very important.
Seems like we all saw pivotal moments in our lives.
Well, anyone else want to go on the memory train? I feel rather antsy.
I mean, I feel like I already know the result, but I'll go for it. I mean, ready? She'll touch the rock again.
Touch the rock again.
We have a weird rock. We're just gonna keep touching it and see what it does.
Why do we have hands? Like, have you seen those memes? Slap the bongo drum, touch the rock.
Why hands if no touch rock?
If hot, why evil? But as you touch the rock, Viridia, the sounds of memories of music and undercut with sewing machine. As if somebody is working in a shop. There's laughter around you. Joyful. Something smells good and welcoming. It's a spring day, and the fields are on fire. As you're pulled back into Nate's shop.
It's pivotal, all right? It's I won't think I'll forget. I mean, I was just reading about a band that we listened to a lot back home in the library. It was Keegan and the Dust Bunnies, and something that my grandfather honestly would listen to the most out of anyone. But it was playing, and I don't know, it was a normal day. Sewing, getting the product ready for tomorrow. That was the day the fields were on fire.
Wait, you remember that too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a day a lot of people forget.
Nate, were any fields on fire in your memory walk there?
Pauses. I've never been to the surface.
Do you remember the general date of the promise that you
He thinks for a moment. Maybe 5 years back.
made? Is what we're seeing 5 years back?
It's about.
Same general time frame for me. What about you?
Yeah. I don't think it did this quite before. Yeah, but I mean, it's from the same time, just about. They all seem different.
Yeah.
Why is it doing this now?
Maybe it wants us to look into something about that day?
Perhaps.
Maybe we're just, I don't know, really unlucky grasping at straws and it's not actually connecting us in any way whatsoever, but our brains are just perceiving it as a connection because we all experienced the same traumatic event 5 years ago?
I mean, maybe, but it's an awful strange time for for she who speaks to say we would have to all four make a decision, that we all received a call of some sort. I'm not usually one to be into the whole fate and destiny and fairy tales and all of that, but a lot of things are pointing to whatever this means.
I mean, I like a good fairy tale.
Maybe 5 years ago is the last time it remembers and it's trying to place itself through our memories.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Do you want to give it a try? And Rhea will just hold the stone out.
Sure. I'll give it a go.
Touch the stone, Ashalot. It's interesting to have the memory of flesh and metal. The dichotomy between the two and the splitting of memory between both instances and existences is almost maddening if you could not accept the fact you have been transformed in some way. You stood tall and proud with that march. You were one of the best. They looked to you because you were the best. And then you touched the obelisk. You were cut off from the march. You were cut off from yourself. You were new in a form you had to reconcile and shape into your own. It's a spring day, and the fields are on fire, and the ships of reality come crashing into the ground before you're pulled back into Nate's shop.
I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to touch the stone again, but almost like I'm going to grab Crocodog's claw, and touch it to the stone. See if I remember, if I get a Crocodog memory.
With this combined touch of Crocodog and yourself, this memory is yours, but not yours, and something further to the expanse of 5 years ago was different, and there were no fields around you. Nothing should be on fire because sand can't be set on fire so readily without an accelerant of some type. Sand doesn't burn, it melts. You know that. So why are the fields on fire? And you see the vision of Crocodog kind of snaking through these sands, and you see a split in reality, and this great triangle-shaped ship come crashing down in front of you, spraying sand, rock, and debris, and reality shudders and breaks before you. The scene changes. And it changes again. It shifts and molds into something else. Something's being forgotten and you don't know what. But you see a figure staring at you from across the way before you're pulled back.
Did that feel like the memory of someone or someone actively looking at me?
Felt like a memory and someone looking at you. It wasn't your memory. You're not even sure if it was Crocodog's memory. It was somebody's memory.
Put down the stone back on the table. I saw a fire, but I wasn't anywhere near your fields. I was in the desert, and sand's not supposed to burn like that. And I saw something else, another memory of someone fading, but it wasn't mine.
Huh. Do I remember why the fields were on fire 5 years ago?
Something, at least what you recall, set the fields on fire, except it was the wet season and the fire didn't make sense to you.
I mean, maybe whatever this stone is linked to has something to do with what caused the fire? We could look into that. I feel like we're going to need redacted information from the Sisters of the Watch.
Same.
Hey, Nate.
He kind of looks to all of you. It's going to cost you.
Cost me what? You don't even know what I want yet.
Money. Anything is worth money as long as the exchange is good. If I'm doing a service for you, I want to be paid.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if you were okay with She Who Speaks knowing about the stone's existence. That's all I wanted to
No. By all means.
know. Okay. Oh, and also Tamsin, because we have to go through Tamsin to get to She Who Speaks, and I don't think they'll leave us alone with She Who Speaks.
If you must.
Okay. So we could also go to the library. We could start there. If it's all redacted. Head for the Sisters of the Watch. And I feel like this is going to involve a trip to the surface at some point. Are we barking up the wrong tree? Is this what we're supposed to be looking at?
Whatever you found is... Oh, it's an adventure, isn't it?
Definitely.
That's one way to put it.
Jack's going to look at the stone in Ashalot's hand and just say, why can't you just come with a label? Rude.
Have you all tried touching it together?
Together?
Mm.
I did get extra vision when Crocodile and I touched it. So maybe...
Maybe. It's worth a shot, right?
Oh. Yeah, I guess. You touching it with us, Nate?
Nate kind of pauses. Do you want me involved in this?
I mean, if
You're
you're
already
holding on
involved.
to, yeah, if you're holding on to this, you might as well just know what you're dealing with. So
Fair enough, I suppose.
Your
All right.
name's Nate, not, so put your hand in.
That was a circus leap and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, put your hand and do the hokey pokey. Wave it all about. Let's go.
All in.
You all touch it. And you all gain an XP for this, so I'll give Viridia and Ashalot 2, since Jack has someone already.
Crocodile is touching it also.
All right.
Important.
Yeah. All right.
When Jen says all right and then goes silent is when I get nervous.
We're about to get the lore.
Lore.
Get the lore.
Many much lore.
They appear as upside-down pyramids and are often associated with the end of an age. You hear Emily's voice echo around you. They wedge themselves into the ground after hovering above it for around 2 weeks. The world is altered and changed, and knowledge is lost. While loss of life is actually rather minimal within this ship, new ages often have to restart with lost understanding of the age before. And you see a large upside-down pyramid, blackened at the top, an angry red molten point, falling and cascading into the world before you, piercing it and breaking it apart. And you see around you multiple of these pyramids, shattering the reality around you as the calamitous age ends and a new one begins. The death of the fifth age, you hear Emily's voice say, witness before us, caused by me. She's silent for a moment. Before you see her figure walk in front of you and she meets your eyes. You have to make the choice. As your worlds shatter and collapse, and you are presented in a void of stars, staring at a vent horizon, a pulsar star collapsing in on itself, and you see before you the sign, the Oblivion Observatory, before it fades away. Reality shatters and shifts again, and before you, another sign. Rage, AI, Sector 5. Shattering of reality again, and these disruptors break and crack the ground before you, before nothing. And you hear, and who are you? Before you're pulled back into Nate's shop.
I
Did
think you're
everyone-
muted, friend. Yeah.
Did everyone just go on like an intergalactic acid trip? Or was that just me?
Yeah, that was definitely a
It's a good description. for it, yeah.
Galactic gargle blaster if I've ever seen one.
What?
Said the same thing.
Did something just see us? Where's Sector
Maybe.
5?
I don't know what that means.
I'm more worried about the Oblivion Observatory and who's observing it.
Yeah.
And this choice they keep saying we have to make.
Star has a name on it. It's sorrow.
Okay, so this stone is sorrow?
This one is sorrow.
How does the name appear? Does it just suddenly show up on the stone, or do we all just inherently know now what it is?
You seem just inherently known.
Nate, have you ever heard of the Oblivion Observatory before?
Tilts his head a bit. Another story. One I didn't think was real until this moment.
Can you fill us in?
It's supposed to exist between spaces. It observes. It's a scientific center, from what I understand. I don't know where it is.
Something between spaces. Okay. So we also have this data cube from the 5th age, and we know that that place that we went to before has a thing that can read it. We also know that we did some wibbly wobbly stuff, and we were in a space between spaces, and that's what dumped us back with the Sisters of the Watch. Do y'all think that space could get us to the Oblivion Observatory? We didn't know where we wanted to go before. We just knew we wanted to come back to town. But if...
Maybe if we're more specific.
we head back in the morning?
I mean, last time it spit us out because I punched the gateway. We would need some kind of way of navigating, or at least aiming ourselves the right way. We could SDIs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, or there could be more answers in that data cube. By the way, Nate, do you have any idea or really anything that can play something from the Fifth Age?
I can scrap something together, but it'll take time.
How long?
Day and a half.
I mean, it does save us the trouble of going through the tunnels again, which are sometimes unreliable at best.
What if I helped?
Not a day. I mean, I have to gather materials, and most of the shops are closed. This is what I'll be doing most of tomorrow. I sell ciphers. I don't whack them together like two rocks.
I'm good with machines. I can help you try and figure it out if you want. Jack does have machine affinity.
All right. Come back tomorrow. I'll have some parts, but not all.
Whew. This is both scary and incredibly exciting.
All comes back around, doesn't it?
It really does. We should probably pack food this time when we go.
Yeah.
You didn't pack food the first time.
No, we thought it was going to be a quick trip there, quick trip back.
Nate kind of pinches the brow of the bridge of his nose and kind of, that's on me. I should have warned you.
Can you get us some of the good bread to take with us? Please.
I'll make a few loaves.
Yes.
Just be careful. There are a lot of eyes wandering in your direction.
Yeah, we had breakfast with the Declisians. Wasn't great.
Well, the food was great, but
the food was good. The food was good. The house
everything
is
else
gorgeous.
was intimidating.
House absolutely gorgeous.
The atmosphere, tense.
Yeah.
Kind of smiles and stands as he takes your plates. You should go rest. Come back tomorrow. We'll get to work.
It's a good idea.
He gives a warm smile before he nods a bit. Good night. Takes your plates and disappears into the back room, and you hear the dishes starting to be washed.
Well, back to my place, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Jack's place, and as you do so, we'll end there as we are at time.
Oh, Jen.
My tinfoil hat just grows in layers.
What is going on? I have heckin' concerns, and I love it.
Many a heckin' concern arena.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us
Concerns.
tonight. We are going to go around and say goodnight. Don't forget, if you would like to support this show and the others that we put on here, you can go to rickandtheraven.com or to weirdworks.com and check out the products there. Use code HYPE at Weird.Works to get $5 off your Empress Deck. Use code HypeGoblin to get 15% off your Rook and the Raven order. And also check out TheHypeGoblin.com if you want. Okay, let's go ahead and go around.
Hi, I'm Jen, and thank you so much for tuning in, all of our active viewers, participators, lurkers, and people who are just excited to be here. I'm excited to take you through this story. I'm going to champion the charity called the Little Princess Trust. They are a nonprofit organization here in the UK. They provide real hair wigs free of charge to children who have lost their hair either through cancer or other hair-related diseases that have caused them to lose their hair. They are a good charity, and I highly recommend them.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sarah Heckalot. You know, either one. I can't wait to see what happens next with this. The charity that I'm shouting out for tonight, as well as any other night you'll see me here, is the Advancement Project. It is a charity that promotes equity and racial justice across the entire U.S. Though they have main offices in DC area and California. So just across the board, they try to do things regarding legal defense funds, research, public outreach, you name it, they probably help with it. And all around, just a really good organization.
Thank you all so much for joining us. I've been Velvet playing Ashlot. My charity of choice is the Trevor Project, as well as Sarah's, and I chose them because, you know, as a member of the Alphabet Mafia myself, I really appreciate and take to heart all the good that they do for the LGBTQI plus community, particularly young folks, in getting mental health resources, you know, especially the times we're living in now, that is very much needed.
Yeah. And I'm going to take a moment, since Velvet so wonderfully covered my charity of choice, I would like to take a moment to shout out Rainbow Railroad. It is one that I recently learned about from our good stream friend, Kay Dampier. The Rainbow Railroad helps people get out of bad situations and get them to live a living situation where they can be themselves and live freely and openly as themselves. And they do their work worldwide. So I would strongly recommend, if you are already affiliated with Trevor Project and the other charities that we talk about here, go check out Rainbow Railroad. They're an incredible organization, and I have really enjoyed getting to know more about them. Thank you, Chrysicom, for throwing the link up in chat. With that, we are going to go ahead and say, drink your water, take your meds, eat something healthy, tell someone important to you if you have not told them recently that they're important to you and that you love them, because we need to hear those words now more than ever. And also, I think we're just going to go ahead and raid someone tonight. How y'all feel about that today?
Yeah.
All right,
Hell
we're
yeah.
gonna
Give some
Always down
love.
for a raid.
we are gonna go raid Candace the Magnificent. Words are getting so hard, y'all. Candace is absolutely wonderful. Ran a Thirsty Swords lesbian game for me as a part of the Rainbow Roll charity project over on Todd Moonbounce's channel. It was a fantastic game. So let's go ahead and start a raid, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.